Anything new?
Eh,
I know it's only been 24 hours.
not really. You know the gist.
Right,
Just trying
right,
to just play games.
right. Well, I got everything set up. I have all my precautions set up, so I think we'll be fine.
I'm
For
sure you'll be fine.
those of you listening, again, this isn't live, but this will be going up tomorrow. Those of you who are listening, we had a whole podcast filmed already and recorded, and my dumbass fucking turned off my computer, so
You
all the
used your foot to end the entire project. I
yeah,
hope you're happy with yourself.
the whole thing, and we had quite yeah, it was quite unfortunate. But
Oh my lord.
Jesus Christ. Fuck. I guess we could get back to what we were talking about yesterday. But before we start, please, again, let us know, who you are, what do you do, and kind of your involvement in the Smash community, and yeah, and just kind of how involved you are in that.
All right. Let me see here. My name is H5. I've been with the Smash community ever since Smash 4. I've started playing the game since I was 5 years old. So 2005, I was playing Smash 64, but I think Melee released at the time. So I've been playing Smash 64 when I was a kid. Then I just found Smash games more and more. I actually found Melee like third. I played Melee third for
Huh.
my first time. It was like 64, Brawl, Melee, then Smash 4 and Ultimate. I
I
swapped.
see. Okay.
But my involvement with the Smash community is that I am a commentator at my local scene. I commentate at AFKXP, located in Campbell, California, and I basically commentate for them. I commentate sets. I just commentate sets featuring some players that show up, like some of the key players that I've seen were like Zekin, really good Kirby, CERN. He's a good Snake, and I just like that's my involvement with the Smash community in a nutshell. I just commentate. I'm not in the scene really much so as a competitor, but much so as a like mentor coach. I can't or as a hype man, support man, as
Right.
I was actually called by a few people actually.
A hype man. I mean, I got. I mean, you are. I will say, you are very, very encouraging. I do enjoy having you around just in general whenever we're playing games. You're always the more energetic of the bunch, which I think is great because we definitely need more people like that in the Smash community. Because I mean, as great as it is, we do have a lot of shit talk going around sometimes. A lot
Oh
of
God.
unfortunate drama that gets linked in with the Smash community. So I think it's great that we have somebody that can actually support players and just not do that. You know.
Yeah. Oh my lord, man.
There's, I mean, like, because you would agree with me, right? That there's like a lot of salt in the Smash community. There's a lot of,
There is. Oh my lord.
and do you experience a lot of that like do you experience that on a daily basis, or like do you think people tend to be a little better about like controlling it nowadays? I don't know, like kind of what's your stance on that? And do you think it's worsening? Do you think it's getting better, or do you think it's just kind of where it's always has been?
I think it's where it's always has been. I want to say from my personal experience. From my experience, like I've only really seen like people like get salty a handful of times.
Right.
But like I actually but like I but also that handful of times I've seen people pop off. And
Right.
like I don't think it's changed, but I also don't think it's worsened or have gotten better. I think we're at a good placement right now. I feel like I would prefer it if there was just like no salt, but I know like there is salt when I just see like someone absolutely getting robbed. Like, someone's on Town and City, platforms start to leave, and your opponent just barely knocks him out onto platform, and they accidentally roll into blast zone. That
Uh,
absolutely kills me.
oh
Or
man.
hell, getting like, getting like an F smash with oof and psych up from hero and dying by like a critical at like 40 or 50% at edge, and that is just also pretty infuriating.
You love to see it.
Oh, you love to see it. It's
You love to
hilarious.
see it. You hate to be on that end of the on that end of the sword. Yeah, Hero is one of those characters that I think is just more fun to play than is entirely viable. I mean, I don't know because I haven't been in the Smash scene in a while, but he definitely just seems like a character to pick when you're having fun. Are there a lot of Hero players out there right now? And like, is he any good or like have people given up on banning him? Like, what's going on? Because he was very controversial when he first released.
Oh yeah, he was banned. I think the Australian community banned him in
Right.
Australia, and also think that we were close to banning him here in the States, but then but that was just some of the dumb people who thought like he was absolutely broken. But then
Right.
like people started looking into his frame data, and it's just like he is really bad.
Oh,
Like he
really?
only he's not. I mean, like he's not really really bad, but he's bad enough to where like he's not busted. So
Right.
basically he has these random set of tools that you can use that gives him like extra attack, extra speed for maneuvering around easier. He can have a reflector on him at all times. He can literally commit suicide and
Right.
almost one shot your opponent. I think you can one shot an opponent with kamikaze at like 20, 30, depending.
Right. Right.
I mean, if it's off stage, but it deals like a ton of damage. It's like what, a 50 damage attack?
Yeah, but it also takes your stock away, so you have to have the advantage if you're going to be using a move like that. Because otherwise,
Yeah.
if you're down 1-1 and you use kamikaze, you're gonna die first.
Oh
So
yeah, no, you're gonna die first. There's no question. I mean, I've never seen a draw where you literally just kamikaze and like there's a draw. No way in hell.
right. Well, draws don't happen,
Re- they
right?
never happen. The only time I remember there being a major draw was at Smash and Splash, where like a couple of players, it was grand finals. They basically, I don't want to say the play, but it was basically a Mario and a Mega Man,
Uh huh.
and they both killed each other at the same time. This was Smash 4, and they
Okay.
both killed each other at the same time.
Okay.
So basically, when they did this, I was just like, oh my God, what do we do now? It's a draw. What do we do? So the TO comes in, and the rules for that are like, okay, so you guys are going to reset the match, and it's going to be a one stock 3-minute game. So
I see.
they, so that's the conditions of if there was a draw.
Okay.
And
Right. Go
and
on.
as for like the number of like hero players, there isn't that many actually. Kind of like on the board of Olimar a little bit. There's not that much, from my experience at least, of me seeing hero a lot. Like
Huh.
I know of one particular hero that comes to AFK, and he is actually really good with the character. I think he made it to Grands, and then he's just started pulling out other characters just to signify like, okay, I think this guy's done.
Right.
But like,
Okay.
but like literally, no, like that's my thoughts on Hero.
Okay. I was gonna ask because we were talking about the draws. What do you do in a situation where two? Have you ever had the situation where two characters knock each other off stage, but one of them dies instantly and the other one gets like the screen splat animation or the Team Rocket we're blasting off again animation, but like they get knocked out at the same. You know what I mean? So like
Hmm.
the person who doesn't get the animation essentially loses the match first, and then the person who's either hitting the screen, spotting on the screen, and then gets knocked out, or is flying off in the distance in the background. Like, what do you do against that? Um, like,
Nothing really. I mean, if basically like if you guys are both like if like you send him flying into the air, yet he just like likes you at a super early percentage that you cannot escape from. Like, yeah, he's gonna go into the air and go through that animation, and literally just last man standing doesn't even matter. The last person on the screen is the winner. I don't even care if like
really?
you're slowly dying for your last stock.
Okay.
Like,
Okay, so let's say like I'm edge guarding somebody, and then I'm playing Sephiroth, right? And I up B, and then I knock him off the stage, up on top, but I don't have a recovery, so I'm slowly falling down. But as I'm falling down, I see the like them still dying, right? Like you know how like
Hmm.
when you knock like I don't know, let's like Mario off and you see them spiraling off in the background, but I'm slowly
Yeah,
falling and I die first. But I already know that the other player is already dead, but he's still in
the
death
animation.
animation. What do you? But I die first. Like, you know what I
What
mean?
do you do against
What do you
that?
do against that? What happens there?
Nothing really. It's just all about accepting your fate. I mean, the one thing that
Really?
I you can literally cannot do anything because if you actually have a worse time on the ground than you do in the air. You have so much because you have to listen to their scream, then you have to look at them spin around, and not only that, like as soon as the star twinkles, then that's KO. But like I think one thing you can do to fight against that, at least stay alive a little bit longer, is do not fast fall. I have seen so many games where it could have been a draw if the bastard just didn't fast fall. Oh my god.
Really? Well, like that doesn't make any sense to me because that sounds like RNG. Wouldn't that ruin like because by technically the person knocked out that other player first. You know, like they should have been dead. The only reason they're still alive is because of RNG, essentially, right?
Not really. It really depends on how much damage or how powerful is the move when you send them upward. If the
Mm.
move is powerful enough where it will send them upward, it will kill them instantly. But if the move is not powerful enough and it's like a light, like let's say you get killed by like I don't know, something like I don't know, like an up smash at like I want to from Mario at like I want to say 100 or 105, like a light of an attack, not enough to where like it's a tough push,
Hmm.
but light enough to where it's like it will send them into the animation. I don't think it's based on RNG. If it, I feel like someone correct me in the comments if it is based on RNG. I always like ask chat during my commentating like
Right.
if I'm confused about something. So I also ask help from the community.
Right.
Thank you, by the way.
um. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've never seen or I've never heard of that being consistently like repeatable. But you understand what I'm saying, right? Like like you that player technically had already knocked out. He's not in the blast zone anymore. He's technically dead. Um,
Yeah.
you see where I'm coming from? Like that player should still technically win, right? I don't know. It just seems
He
silly to me.
shouldn't technically win because the game is still going on, and that's the game is still technically going on. So
Hmm.
you can't really do much in an aspect in a scenario like that. Like you literally just have to just like literally just give up. There's nothing you can do, and
Oh,
especially if like your hero and like you screw up like up B or something.
right.
And not only that, if you have accelerant on, you fast even faller. You
Right.
you fall even faster, and
Right.
it's just insane.
Hmm.
But like, no, in those scenarios, like usually the guy on the top always wins, unless it's a special case. Going back to Smash and Splash,
Right.
where they both die on opposite blast zones. Like one player went to the left side and the other player went to the right side. It was like an F smash trade.
Right.
So unless it's that kind of special scenario, then yeah, no, it's super unfeasible in that scenario to survive long enough to be on the bottom and win. Like you would literally have to be a super slow faller like Ganon or something.
Right. Okay. I see. I mean, I still seems a little weird to me, but I understand. Like if that's kind of like how the tournaments work, you know, if that's how they're run. I can definitely understand where they're coming from because I understand, I get it. The match is still going on. You know, the game's not over until you see the screen slicing in half and then the match is over. So I can understand that. Still odd though. It's interesting. I wonder who's in charge of that. But I would also imagine it doesn't happen enough for a discussion for this to really take place anyway. right? Or am I?
Yeah, there's not enough occurrences where you could say, "Oh, this can happen." A lot of the times. This isn't like comparing it to another game like Destiny.
Mhm.
That game trades happen so often just because of like the hurts that are going on with the game. I don't know the hurts for Destiny. I think it's like a 40 hurt game and trades happen super super often. And if you compare it to like another FPS like COD, like trades like never happen.
Right.
Absolutely never.
Hmm. Interesting. Um, what was I? Fuck. I was gonna bring up because yesterday we talked a little bit about COVID and what happened during that whole scenario, and you were telling me that essentially it was kind of like a culture shock that like nobody really could have seen this coming, and essentially like livelihoods were kind of put at a massive halt because of COVID. Um, do you what are you what were again, what happened during COVID? How did you guys handle it? And what are you guys doing now to bring the community back together? If there's anything that you guys are doing, or what is the community doing to itself to try to bring itself back together?
So what happened during COVID? Like a lot has been going on. So all right, let's do this. So basically, you had okay, so when we were kind of in like a small culture shock even before like COVID was about to hit the US, there was already cases, and I don't know where the first case landed in America, but it was somewhere. I don't know if it was on the east or west
I
coasts.
believe it was here where I'm at in Washington, Washington State.
Oh shit.
I
It
believe
was
that
up
was the first.
there?
I believe the first case was here in Washington State. Yeah, I think so. Not in my town, but I believe it was somewhere here in Washington State.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
So okay. So yeah, if it landed there, then it is a little bit next to Cali, so
Yeah.
I was bound. So that's why we probably closed our doors. AFK closed their doors in February because we knew that like literally the Grim Reap Plague Inc. came to life, and
Yeah.
like God just wanted to play Plague Inc. And he just wanted to say, okay, let's give a new disease that we have never combated before and make it like this reality shifter. Okay,
Right.
let's just culture shock everybody, like I said yesterday. So basically, it was really tough for the Smash community because during the pandemic, a lot of allegations were coming out against various players, mainly sexual allegations,
Right.
and it was coming across multiple players. I'm not going to name names, but basically, various players various players committed acts, and some and like the victims were minors.
Hmm.
So, and even if they were minors now, then and they're not minors anymore now, it still is a crime. And basically, a bunch of allegations came out for various players, even some here in California. Like, I know of few personally, but I'm not going to share them.
Of course.
So honestly, like we had to deal with that as a Smash community. A lot of players got affected. Top players got affected. Even local players like around my scene got affected. And it really does suck to see these players because when I'm listening to them, because when I was personally talking to them about it, they were like they don't really come to tourneys anymore because of this individual. And I'm just like that's really, really sad. Like
Damn.
like you shouldn't be afraid to come to locals because of one dude. We got you. Like the people at the staff have got you. Like we're okay. If anything happens, it's gonna be on him, not on us. We're just here to help, and it's a
Right.
really sensitive situation. So it's really tough to approach sometimes. But I didn't like suggest her come back to AFK and play. Obviously, she needed time to recover from such a horrible experience,
Right. Yeah.
and basically, the plan right now, since all of this is going on, is that like a lot of people have been exposed. Some are still playing, even though I disagree, are still active in the community, even though I disagree with it.
Right.
Like no evidence has come out on some people, but basically, when it comes down to the wire, we are slowly healing right now. Even past all of that, like the pandemic was basically like a cleansing phase.
Right.
Like it was basically just like washing off all the like dirt on our hands that we just accumulated with Smash 4 and Brawl and just okay, maybe not Brawl, but Smash 4 definitely.
Right.
Just washing off all that salt and dirt just mixing in and
Right.
literally like I think everybody in the Smash community has learned a lot since then, and here at AFK, us too. Like we've implemented a new policy where I don't think you can drink on tournament floors. So
I see.
we're we're we are definitely making changes so that it is a safe environment for everybody. But but no, like I think the Smash community is slowly healing. I think it is slowly healing, and we're gonna get better like as time goes on.
Right. In a lot of ways, yeah, you guys are just kind of building everything from the bottom up, right? Like, essentially, all these allegations came out, and certain people left, and very understandably they did. And then COVID came, and so it got to the point where nobody can compete in person, which is arguably the best way to compete because the Wi-Fi is terrible.
Horrible. Have you
Playing
seen the
online.
frame delay?
Yeah. No, I've seen the frame delay. I've played it. It's fucking awful. There are definitely moments where I'm playing the game and it's like I should not have died to that, or I should have parried that, or I should have blocked that. Like,
I should have teched that.
yeah, I should have teched that. Like, and you got Wi-Fi warriors who love it. Like, they just do really well online. It's like, holy shit, you're playing a different game. That's basically what it is. Online and offline are like basically two different games. It's fucking insane. And it doesn't already help that Smash has a built-in buffer system into the game. Um, but yeah, it's almost like of course, like I'm not saying all these allegations were for the better, or these incidents, but it is kind of nice that you guys can essentially have a fresh start, kind of figure out where you went wrong, and essentially again build it up from the ground up. Um, what do you think people can get into Smash right now the way it is? How much longer do you think the competitive scene will stay around and stay relevant until people get bored of it? Do you think Ultimate can stand on its own two legs long enough for people to play competitively, or to just get into it if they were thinking about it?
I think getting into it, you can absolutely join in right now on the fun. Like locals are coming up again.
Right.
So support your locals and support your local casters. But but like I think yes, you can join in competitive Smash at any time. No one should be restricted to it, no matter the circumstance. And I think as for the competitive scene's life, I it's gonna stay for a long time. I mean, going to Evo 2013, where the fans raised money to get Melee up for that event, and then Nintendo shutting it down. Within 24 hours, the Melee stream was back up. So the fans are very passionate about the game. Doesn't matter if it's Melee or Brawl or Smash 4 or Ultimate or hell, even 64. Literally, the fans are so dedicated and just so unbelievably passionate about the game that like it really is a marvel to see when you have a dozen people, probably more than that, hundreds, thousands of people who really love this game, who love playing it competitively, who of probably love like fan work of the game, artwork, fan mods, any of that shit. Like they're just that passionate about it, and it really is amazing to see that. So me personally, I think Smash is gonna live a long time even if Nintendo stops making games. Like this is literally one of the biggest franchises in gaming. Like so many gaming characters show up in this game. You got Final Fantasy, you got Tekken, Mario, Pac-Man, Mega Man, Legend of Zelda, Animal Crossing, Xenoblade Chronicles. You have so many game franchises here. It is not going away.
Right. Um, I hope that's true. Just because of how much I love the game and how much I just enjoy watching competitive play and me myself just being competitive. I'm not like I'm not training every day like I used to, but I still enjoy a good competition when it does pop up. Um, I was gonna mention, fuck, what was I gonna say? Smash Ultimate. I feel like it would be a lot more productive. It would help if Nintendo also supported you guys. Do you feel like Nintendo is supporting the community enough? Or do you think that maybe we're lacking a little bit, or that Nintendo maybe they're doing all they can with what they can, or maybe do you think there should be some improvement there? Because I personally, I've been pretty vocal about this. I'm not a big fan of how Nintendo goes about their businesses, how they treat their fans, and how essentially they're kind of forcing people to play the game they want it to be played, the way they want it to be played. Um, I don't know. How do you feel about that in general?
I honestly think that like it is a little bit sad that Nintendo is doing this, but I'm not gonna blame. This is mainly going towards Nintendo Japan,
Right.
not towards Nintendo of America, because Nintendo of America are actually really cool guys and gals. So I'm not really like this has nothing to do with Nintendo of America, just to clarify. This is mainly all towards Nintendo of Japan. They do not really understand the US. I mean, I think they either understand it or they don't. And I think if in the case that they understand it and they don't want Smash to be a competitive game. If they wanted it to be competitive, they wanted it to be competitive through their own rule set and vices. So they want items on. They want Final Smash Meter on. And like here's the thing, I'm actually up to the fact of having Final Smash Meter in competitive play because like it gets so boring just playing on the same maps that we played from Smash 4 with basically the whole roster from the franchise. And I kind of want something new, but at the same time, like Nintendo's rule set on how they do it is not really all that viable. And like it can lead to some very unfair matches. Like I think the one tournament, their very first Nintendo Versus tournament that they held online during the pandemic, that's like cemented like Nintendo's stance on tournaments, I want to say. Like it was a qualifier, so if you entered, you go into finals, and it was only like 8 players going into finals, and there was a prize pool too. And not only that, like you also had to deal with the fact of like people having like most of the time I'm fighting heroes during that tournament because Hero was the best person to play during that team. It was Hero, Rosa, and I believe Mega Man because it was nothing but items, so it's going to be like this barrage of where you're basically just going to get pushed off to
Right.
Kingdom Come. And
Right.
basically, it's just like get off my ship.
Yeah.
But
Pretty much.
anyway, but like, I feel like it could be definitely improved. I know that Nintendo of America understands the community and they do understand it, but they get the word from Nintendo of Japan of like, oh, we can't do this, or Nintendo of America has to actually do something legally because like if they're told by Nintendo of Japan, someone's definitely getting fired from Nintendo of America and that's just something we can't happen to have. So like it's a really rough situation where like Nintendo of America is cool, Nintendo of Japan isn't all that great. I really wish they improved supporting the competitive scene a little bit more. I don't really know what much they can do. All I'm honestly waiting for is like just some improvement. Like I don't really know like what else to say.
Right. So you think they're deliberately not supporting the Smash community? Like, what? Like, I mean,
Um,
why would they go about doing that? I mean, like, don't you think financially it would help them if they supported and they made it clear that they enjoy their Smash community? Holding these tournaments and doing what they do. I mean, wouldn't everybody win in that scenario? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me
yeah.
for a company to not support their community. The only reason that their games are sold.
Yeah, honestly, it would be a major profit goer for them because of if they supported their scene and they endorsed their own events, then they can easily just like make so much money on like merchandise. They can tax like vendors or whatever for their some sales if like they're entering like their own like venue or event or whatever. So like I don't know how like that goes, but like I'm assuming that's how that goes. But basically, yeah, I think they would profit a lot. Um just like the whole thing, like if they supported the scene and it really does suck because like it goes into like another point of them actually not like re-releasing games and physical games for those like their physical games that are being sold for like ludicrous amounts of money on the secondhand market. I think that one actually does matter a lot goes into this point because they're missing out on a lot of money. Like, remember that copy of Super Mario 64 that sold for like 1.5 million?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't get a dime off that. And
Right.
yes, like realistically, you guys can sell graded stuff, you guys can sell your own stuff. I don't care. But if Nintendo actually re-released all of these games on the Switch, the prices of the physical games would literally go down. Like you would actually be able to buy a copy of Zelda
Right.
relatively cheap because I know like Zelda copies go for like what, $60 now? Majora goes for like
Yeah.
70, I
Something
think.
like that. Yeah. And
It's
yeah, it's
it's
nuts.
ungodly high.
Yeah. It almost seems to me like they're doing whatever they can to maximize profits, and I know that's what businesses do.
hmm
But it's just it's such a weird thing for me to see Nintendo do, because whenever I think of Nintendo, I think of Nintendo like the Disney of video games. They don't really care about like how powerful or how insane their console is. Whenever they release one, all they really care is what's the quality of our games and are they fun. And that's kind of always what Nintendo has been. I would say up until the N64 era, because they were trying to compete with PlayStation, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but they're kind of doing like recently when they released the OLED for the new Switch that I don't think anybody's gonna buy unless you have money to just that you wipe your ass with.
Burn.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just like, yeah, like this looks cool, Daddy. Buy me this new Nintendo Switch that adds absolutely nothing to my game since I play on my Switch docked anyway. Um, and and that thing that they did with the Mario games, I think they had like this like triple Mario bundle, right? That is only going to be out for like a limited time or something. I think it was like
Yeah, that was Super Mario 3D All-Stars. It had 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, and that sold like hotcakes.
yo,
And
yeah.
Nintendo just decided to, oh, we're gonna go ahead and murder Mario on this day. Oh, heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, because like that's the thing is like people like there are like Nintendo like enthusiasts who will just buy everything Nintendo releases, and then there are people who are like, well, we don't have a choice because when is the next time we're gonna have the opportunity to buy this game on a modern console, so we don't have to steal from you essentially. Because like how else we gonna play your games, Nintendo? Like how else are we gonna enjoy them? Like of course we're gonna emulate your games, like what do you want me to like what do you want us to do about it? Like what do you want me to do about it? Like how am I
Have
supposed like how am
money.
I supposed to
Take my
enjoy?
money.
Yeah, exactly. How am I supposed to enjoy Mario 64? Listen, I want to buy it off of you, but don't sell it to me again for $60. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you repackaging the same game over and over? Like, we got another GTA 5 and another Skyrim in our hands, but Nintendo is doing it with like all their classic games. It's like we're just not gonna make new games. We're gonna release the same ones, and everyone's gonna buy them anyway. Let's
I
go.
mean, at least, I mean, at least with the three, I mean, at least with Super Mario 3D All Stars, it's a lot better than Skyrim HD. Because, I mean, at least in my opinion, because you're paying, like, Skyrim HD is a $60 game, and the Amiibo is like $90 now because of scalping. You can't find one.
Right.
So, obviously, Super Mario 3D All Stars right now is actually really, really good. It was literally $60 for three games. Some of like the best games in gaming. Super Mario 64, then you got Galaxy, then you have Sunshine. Three critically acclaimed like favorites from like Nintendo's like community. Like everybody loves these games. So I think, and not only that, like Galaxy was semi built from the ground up, and everybody else like the other and Sunshine and 64 also got like cleaner graphics and cleaner pictures and stuff. And Galaxy was like semi built from the ground up. Like half of the game was ported and half of the game was built from the ground up just because it was a Wii game. And they added motion controls to the Joy-Cons and they added motion controls to the Pro controller and they added controls for the regular controllers that didn't support gyro. So like if you want to experience a Wii game on the Switch, go play Galaxy.
Right. And I would normally agree with you, but unfortunately most people who have a Nintendo Switch, their Joy-Cons will break within like a few months of them owning the Switch.
Yeah, no, drifting is a really serious problem. Actually, funny story, it's not a Nintendo Switch that controller that actually broke on that drifted on me. My PS5 controller is starting to drift on me. It's been drifting for like a month.
Weird. What?
It's been because the same people who made the haptics, I think, may also made the haptics for the Switch for the Joy-Cons.
Huh.
So I don't know why, but it shouldn't be anything to do with analog though. I think it's because it's like it's a first release controller and that's like the problem.
Right.
But controllers shouldn't drift like regardless.
Yeah.
Like here's an example. Don't release a game that's unfinished and then sell as DLC and microtransactions to fill up with the lost game. You need to complete and fix the controller as it is intended.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I absolutely agree with that. It's like that's a big issue right now with like League of Legends. That I've been I talked to somebody who in my last podcast. He used to play a lot of Smash Brothers, but now he is well, he's kind of jumping back and forth between the two, but primarily we're talking about League of Legends and essentially the game like everything around League of Legends, like the thing that launches the game and like the mechanics are fine, like the game works. The problem is that like there are items that you can buy for your characters that apps that like kind of break the game sometimes. And there are some champions that like there's some characters in that game that function really funny and shouldn't be doing certain things that they're doing. And Riot's like Riot Games kind of acknowledges those issues, but then they go ahead and like work on other characters and release new characters because it's just going to release more profit for them. It's going to make them more money, as opposed to fixing the crap that they already like the problems that they already have. Like as opposed to like fixing items that are in the game that can alter the game's outcome, they instead add more instead of fixing the problems they already have with the items they're currently working with. Um, I struggle to buy any games on my Switch that I can't use on my GameCube controller. So like I have a buddy of mine who wanted me to play Monster Hunter with him, but I'm like, dude, I can't play that game with you because I have a GameCube controller and my Joy-Cons are not working. And I'm not gonna go buy a new controller on top of a new game just so we can play it every now and then because of just of how busy I am. Um, I definitely think Nintendo needs. I think they had for a while. It was like if your Joy-Con had drift, they would like repair it for you or something, right? I don't know if that's still going on or not, but they definitely need to do something about the drift, fix it or update the controllers, or hopefully this new Nintendo Switch with the OLED display has those fixes. But to my knowledge, I'm not aware of any of those changes if they had made any changes. And honestly, I'm really glad that Smash Brothers is just about the only game I play on my Switch because it's really the only one that I know that functions really well on a GameCube controller. So,
Of
um,
course.
yeah. Um, no, I absolutely. I'm not. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of what Nintendo's doing right now, and it kind of concerns me for the future of the company. Um, and yeah, I just hope that they know what they're doing. I'm excited for Breath of the Wild too, though. I'm excited for that game for sure, but that's really the only title I'm looking forward to, if I'm being completely honest. Because we don't really have any information on even like what is it, Metroid, Metroid Zero? Is that what it's called? I don't remember the name of it.
Metroid Dread.
Metroid. No, no, no. The other one, like the one that's supposed to
Prime
be.
4?
Yeah, Metroid. Yeah, 4. Um, apparently that game like got destroyed and then built back up from the ground. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about all that honestly. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel about that. Um, I don't know. How do you feel about that? I mean, you get what I'm saying?
I think so. Question.
It just seems like they're turning into EA. Basically, is what I'm saying. Kind of seems like they're turning into EA, but with their own weird. It feels like this is the beginning of something more nefarious. I suppose is what I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I mean, I think I understand it.
Yeah, that was a mouthful.
Yeah, it was.
It's more. I'm talking more like it's just like a slippery slope. You know what I mean? Like one day, it's just. I don't understand why like games they released 3 years ago are still like $60. You know what I mean?
I mean, okay, when you put it like that, then yeah, I understand. Like, I think it should be 60 if like the game was like is a part of a bundle or it's like there's so many features in it that's new. Cause here's the deal, the Majora's Mask actually on the 3DS is actually a super good example because they had a collector's edition and that came with like a statue and it came with like a soundtrack, I think, and that was really cool. But the game itself, it was literally a ground up like ground up remake or remaster of yeah remake
Majora's Mask.
of yeah of Majora's Mask because it's literally because literally the whole game they're using the OOT and they're using the OOT engine from OOT
Right.
and like or like the similar I don't know what the engine is called or if they've just rebuilt it from the same up but like I know they reuse some of the assets in the game like the models and such so there is definitely a like if they can sell the game for $40 and that would be like a steal me being able to play one of my favorite games on the go for $40 like I'd be down for that but yeah it's on a brand new console like Super Mario All 3D All Stars gets a pass. It gets a pass.
Okay.
Skyrim, not Skyrim. Skyward Sword doesn't get a pass for me, unfortunately.
Really? Why do you say that?
It's not there's not enough features in it that make me want to buy it. Like yes,
Right.
you have stuff that could you have like for people who play on the Switch Lite, you can play it without using motion controls and that's super cool and they brought back motion controls in different play and different types of play and other kinds of features, but it's not enough for me to just drop $60 on a game that I already own and I can play it readily. I can literally pop in Skyward Sword on my CRT right now and play it.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. That makes sense. Cause like, well, cause it's Zelda. Zelda is probably one of like the better titles that Nintendo has, like right next to Mario and like Donkey Kong, and maybe even less Donkey Kong. Really, just more like the whole Mario series.
Yeah, no,
Um,
there's Donkey Kong. Who's Donkey Kong again?
right, who's Donkey
I haven't
Kong?
seen I haven't seen a game in years.
Who's Donkey Kong? Yeah.
Who's Donkey Kong? Who's
I will
P
say
Diddy
though,
Kong?
I will say he. I always get excited when I see a Donkey Kong playing in a tournament or just playing in general, just competing in Smash. It's always really fun because they. To be fair, they all kind of do the same thing. Most Donkey Kong players usually just do the same shit.
Mm,
But it's always super entertaining. The same way you see Captain Falcon, like, come on, like you see a Captain Falcon playing or competing, you gotta root for that guy every time. He like Captain Falcon is so hype. It's just
I
do people play him? Wait,
mean,
do people even play
people
Captain Falcon
do
now?
people do play Falcon, but the thing is about Falcon is that I actually don't consider him as hype as everybody else does.
What? Really?
I don't
Why?
because like he's a decent character.
Uh
He's
huh.
definitely like mid high or high just in general.
Uh huh.
And I honestly I think I've sensitized myself with watching too much Falcon.
Uh huh.
So I'm just like he's not as hype as I'm thinking him out to be. And like honestly, I would much rather see like low tiers get the spot actually. Like I want to see more low tiers play than high tiers
Right. Well,
because
yeah.
it's interesting to see a low tier come in like when someone pulls out like a Bowser Jr. Like who the hell plays Bowser Jr.?
Yeah, oh yeah, I know. And it's always and when they do well, it's always really entertaining to watch.
Oh, it
Um
is.
yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you. I do love seeing low tiers come in. The issue is just like sometimes they're just like really hard to play. And some people just can't play them very well either. Um I mean like I think some of the weirdest picks I've seen at like tournaments have definitely been like Bowser Jr. I had like somebody I played against like a Corrin one time and like Duck Hunt. There's a dude. I'm forgetting the guy's
Duck
name.
Hunt.
He's
Oh
a but he's a
no.
Duck Hunt player and I think he was like I don't know where but apparently he was like on the PGR and he was just really good. Um, but fuck, dude, I remember playing against a Duck Hunt once and just not having a good time. I just remember just not enjoying that fight. Same thing with Olimar because they just kind of space you out and you just get like if you're not smart and meticulous about like how you're playing around those characters, you're just gonna get fucked. Like damage is just gonna get racked up and you don't know where it's coming from. Um, it sounds like you have something to say about Duck Hunt.
I mean, no, I don't have anything to say about Duck Hunt. It's just so amusing whenever I do see a Duck Hunt actually come out, or an Olimar for that matter. But I think I would rather watch the Duck Hunt because I've had a terrible experience with off fighting Olimars. Like I think online, I think I ran into like the best Olimar in America by accident.
Mm.
And I was just like, this is not fun. And I was playing Ganon, so of course it wasn't going to be fun for me. It was literally just like free. It was free, like points for him because he had a character that can space me out and I knew nothing of the matchup. So I'm just like, oh
You
no.
probably just spam Nair and try to get close to him, probably.
Oh no, I did that and he literally just outspaced my
Yeah,
Nair.
that sounds about right. I did play against an Olimar. I don't remember his name because I only encountered him the one time. But I remember I played against an Olimar. I was at the time I was a Wolf main because Joker hadn't released yet, and I remember like just being like, "Holy shit! Like, what do I do against this Olimar?" So I picked Cloud so I could just spam Nair, and it got me. I got to take a stock from him, but after that he really just fucked me, and I was just like, "Oh great, Olimar! I guess Olimar is fucking ridiculous because he I didn't I like because you know like it was the game just released. Nobody really like I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, people who played Smash 4 probably knew what they were doing, but I didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, you know, like this will be fine. Like Omar, whatever, dude. He's small, he's lightweight. I'll knock him out easy. And I got my shit kicked in. Um,
Knocked him out easy, huh?
yeah. No, I really thought I do that. I did that a lot when I was competing. I used to like. I remember I used to hype myself up like on the drive. I'm like I can't lose. It's impossible. Like let's go. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna take names. Blah blah blah. I remember. I feel really bad because I did that when I met Striker.
Oh my god.
I did that when I met Stryker. I felt really bad because I was like, Stryker, who the fuck is Stryker? Like, I'm gonna beat the shit. I was like, he picked Bowser, like he's gonna get bodied, and then I got bodied, and I was like, great, cool, okay.
You
Really humbling.
absolute
It's very
fiend.
yeah, it's very humbling. I mean, it's good for you, because like you go into a fight and you really like, well, you got to do that, you can't go in expecting to lose, right? Um, and that was really exciting. I remember like just being like, "Holy shit! Like his spacing's amazing, and he's using his flamethrower perfectly, and his out of shields are great. Like, oh my god! Like I just remember like, what the fuck? Like I didn't know Bowser was good. Since when was Bowser good? Like
He was good in Smash
I
4.
had no idea. Well, I didn't play Smash 4. I wasn't honestly. I'm not a big fan of Smash 4. I'm being completely
I,
honest.
I don't think anyone was.
Okay, let's. Okay, people definitely enjoyed. I'm gonna be honest
I
with you.
mean,
I would rather play Smash. I would rather play Brawl than play Smash 4. I'm gonna just be real with you.
okay, fair enough. I mean, honestly, like, here's the deal. I have a soft spot for Smash 4, but I don't think I would pop it in and competitively play it.
Uh, you know. Well, okay. At this point, why would you ever want to play it when you have Smash Ultimate, right? but
Exactly.
let's just let's just pretend like Smash Ultimate wasn't around. Honestly, I would probably like install like Project M before I would play like Smash 4. Like honestly, because like Project M was super fun. They stopped development of Project M, right?
Yeah, they did. They stopped it due to a D&C from a C&D from Nintendo.
That's fucking unfortunate.
Yeah, they haven't taken down like other projects though, which I actually genuinely support. Like I'm not gonna say the projects just because due to Nintendo watching this podcast and just being like,
Right,
"Oh,
the ninjas, the Nintendo ninjas.
the
Uh,
Nintendo ninjas just come out and they just want to do their dirty deeds all over these awesome projects." And it's just like, "No."
yeah, I mean, well, like, again, what else are you supposed to do when Nintendo doesn't want you making their games fun? You know?
Ironically, you can't really do anything. You're kind of just stuck there,
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate that Project M got fucking yeeted out of existence essentially. I
basically.
remember, and Nintendo recently they deleted like a bunch of ROMs online, right?
Yeah, they did. They deleted a bunch of their ROMs. They deleted like stuff. Like they literally sued an entire web. Like literally, Nintendo just like, oh my god, they really just went in on the ROM sites and the freaking like, and they claimed it was piracy. Well, realistically, like we need preservation in gaming. We need
Yeah.
preservation. We
Oh
can't
yeah.
have no preservation. So when you take away the preservation like that, it's like whoa, whoa! Now you're turning into the bad guy, Mister Big N. You
Yeah,
you can't do
exactly.
that.
Um,
Like,
oh, you go on.
oh no, 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 like not. Oh no, no, no. It's nothing.
Okay, I was gonna ask you, do you still buy physical games? Because
I do.
I definitely do. I still buy physical games. I know a lot of people are switching over to the digital medium, and even my roommate, he's like, why would you buy physical stuff? It's like I just like having it. It's like old people. I think that's our generation of old people, right? It's like, oh, grandpa, what are these things? Those are discs, son. Like why not just It's like I like the physical thing. I like the physical. I like to hold it. I like to look at it. Old people like I like to read a book and I like to hold my book. To be fair, I like holding and reading my books as well. So, um, but yeah, I feel like we're gonna be that generation when we get old. I feel like we're gonna be playing Smash Brothers in a retirement home, and just that ain't Falco.
That ain't Falco.
That
Oh
ain't
my.
Falco. Kids aren't even gonna know. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. I just love Smash Ultimate, and I'm really excited to see what else is to come. Um, I don't think we're gonna get a third pass. I would love for Sakurai to be like, you know what, fuck it, home, like let's do it one more time, a home stretch. Let's do a third pass, but I don't think it's likely. And I'm really
Yeah,
excited.
no. we're not getting that third pass. We're literally up to getting the last character.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. And I mean, I'll be okay with it. I'll be fine with it because you know, um, we have so many characters to pick and choose from that it'll be fine. Honestly. Uh,
Over 70 characters.
yeah. That's
What
nuts.
game can you say that rivals like Marvel versus Capcom 2?
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking about. I was like, we haven't had a roster like this since Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Because like that's the thing that sells fighting games. What sells fighting games is like, can you do cool shit and do you have characters? Like those are the two main things that like I feel that sell fighting games. And Smash Ultimate just has all of that and more. Like, and but like it's weird because like I don't understand. Like even within the Smash community, there's like a division, right? There's like the Melee diehards are like, man, I'll only play Melee because there ain't no other game like Melee. And then people in Ultimate are like, oh, look at those sweaty tryhards. The game is broken. Like, why would you play Melee if it's broken? Like, it's a broken game. It's like, yeah, but it's fun. It's like, oh, like, why? Why can't you just enjoy the fucking game, dude?
God, I think, man, this is, oh Lord. Realistically, it is broken. Have
Uh
you, okay,
huh.
there's actually this one YouTuber that I actually watch who points out a lot of the flaws. His name is,
Okay.
I think his name is Azum Samus, and basically he points out like the flaws of Melee. Like even though it's all for parody and such,
Right.
it's still interesting for him pointing out like Battlefield is so broken. Literally, it is ungodly. But like Nintendo made this game in like 18 months.
Oh yeah.
It was heavily rushed. Not only that, there's like unused assets in like the very first like version of the game, like Ganondorf's like hidden double jab,
Right.
where that doesn't have a hitbox, and I'm so mad about that.
That's wait. His double jab.
Yeah,
Like
so basically his neutral attack on the ground, he has another jab, and
like another hitbox, or like they programmed or and animated another jab for Ganon that just
they
didn't get
uh,
implemented.
they animated another jab, but it only works if you put on the bunny hood because it's not fast enough to do it without the bunny hood. You need to have the
What?
bunny hood active. And not only that, there was no like hitbox for his second jab.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah, no. Like this game is just like that's just like an unused asset more than broken, but like
Right.
this game is legitimately broken. Like literally a lot of the stuff that people do in the game are like basically busted mechanics that Nintendo didn't even bother to fix up before release. And like it's like in reality it is broken, but it's funny to see all of these broken mechanics be used in a competitive setting. It's just funny to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like it definitely makes the game way more fun.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I
definitely.
remember taking the time to learn the wave dash and L cancel and moonwalk and all this other bullshit. I just remember having a shit ton of fun playing that game and just doing all these insane mechanics. But like I mean I prefer playing Ultimate more because of the variety. But I don't understand. I don't get why there's a division. Like we are still the Smash Brothers community. I don't see a reason why we
Yeah,
have to
there's like the
we
division.
yeah, I don't
But hold
understand
on,
why we
can
have to.
you actually hold that thought?
Uh-huh.
Someone's at the door, and I don't know who.
Go, 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 go,
So
go.
yeah, I must go. Oh my God, there's blankets over me because I wanted to get the best audio possible. Get
Great.
on the bed.
Okay. We're just gonna take a little break. Yeah, no. I guess I would be talking to myself. I don't understand why there's a division in the Smash Brothers community. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, like we're all playing the same fucking game. Like, why can't we just like enjoy each other's company? Why do we have to be so fucking elitist when it comes to whatever games we play? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I feel like there's just a lot of insecurities in there. People want to belong to a tribe. It's probably why people choose certain games as opposed to others, and don't want to communicate or get involved with the other. Well, and to be fair, it does seem to me like Melee has this old reputation and definitely a longer history than any other Smash game. Because it was kind of the godfather of where the competitive scene came from, and really where it bloomed, and like it was definitely one of the biggest games of its time when it released. Opposed to Master Chief and what is it, the Halo games? Oh my god, I really just said Master Chief. I'm turning into an old man. The Halo games, when people would play like LAN parties together, and back in the MLG days. Um, so I can understand why people would be so attached to like something that they're already so familiar with, but it still doesn't make any sense to me as to why they would do that. Like why the division? Um, yeah, I mean I don't get it, guys. No, you fucking explain that to me.
I've arrived. Sorry for that
Don't
intermission.
worry about it. I was over here talking to myself for a good while, so don't even worry about it.
Yeah, what were you talking about? You
I
the
was
division for PlayStation?
I know yeah, dude, the division for PlayStation. Let's go. The division for the Nintendo Switch. Let's
Oh
go.
heck yeah, dude!
Let's play that. Fucking 2 frames per second. Let's run it. Let's play that. No, I was just saying like it doesn't make any sense. Like I was just continuing that thought as to why the division occurs, but I also was thinking like maybe it might be a product of like tribalism. Like people are like,
Hmm.
this is my tribe, this is my group, and it's us and them. You know what I mean? And I feel
Yeah,
like that's primarily where that comes from, and probably like a lot of insecurities too. Probably like it might be like a group thing where it's like, oh, I found this group that I finally belong to, um, and if my group is saying that that game sucks ass because it's not as hard as my game, you know, then yeah, I'm not gonna like those guys either. And which because we definitely have issues like that stemming in our country right now, unfortunately, where people are picking and choosing sides as opposed to accepting our differences. But I guess that's just a human
yeah.
thing, right? That's just a thing people do. It's very human for us to do that. But like Melee was like one of the biggest esports games of its time when it released. So I can understand why people are so attached to that game and so attached to that history. Because it's the reason why we're here. It's the reason why we're having this conversation. Honestly, it's why the competitive scene developed the way it did. Um, but I don't know. It still seems silly to me. It still seems petty. I still think, I mean, Nintendo is fighting against us. I think we should be helping each other out as opposed to like fucking, you know, at each other's throats. Do your guys's tournaments do you hold both settings at the same time? Do you guys have Melee, Brawl, Project M, and Smash Ultimate, or do you guys just do Smash Ultimate?
We do Smash Ultimate at the moment because before the pandemic, we had Smash Ultimate already, but we did monthly melees. So
Monthly
we are
Melee. Okay.
so we had melee in as a monthly, so we had a lot more talent coming in with a bigger prize pool. So I don't know if that's what we're doing now. I don't think we're doing that now, but we are definitely still doing not melee. We're still doing ultimate right now. I mean, we do have other tournaments that we run. Like on Wednesday, we're running Guilty Gear. On Thursday, we're doing D&D, and it's fairly fun. But no, like no, we're only doing Smash at the moment for Monday and Tuesday.
Okay, Smash Ultimate, you mean?
Hmm.
Okay. Is that just because it's the more relevant game? Is it because it makes more money?
I
What's the thought process behind that?
I think it's because it's what we were already doing.
Okay. All right,
We
I
were
see.
already we were already doing Smash Ultimate tourneys to begin with, so we're just doing them. So we're just continuing them basically.
Okay, so you guys didn't have melee tournaments prior to starting up tournaments there, or
Um, we did, but it was only for our grand reopening that we had melee tournaments. We had
mm,
melee and we had Project M. So and that's when we started, and like we continued with like melee as a side for like a couple weeks, but like people wanted ultimate more, and we needed to have more room for ultimate because it was always packed with players wanting to play ultimate.
Mm,
So
I
we
see.
just had that, and it was fun, but like ultimate just like there was a lot more people like playing ultimate, and like melee would be better as a monthly because that way we would see a lot more like players really shine because it's a tournament that only happens like 12 times a year.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, I see. Um, yeah, so you guys are doing ultimate more because of the demand that comes in for the game.
I guess I'm actually not too sure. I think it was just because we're just doing it. Like I'm
Right.
actually not too sure.
Um, I wanted to ask, do you see a lot of young people playing the game, or is it primarily like older gentlemen, or like like
Young
people
and
in their
old.
really? Eh,
Yes,
Do you think?
actually, ever since we started up tourneys, we've actually been seeing a lot more new faces, and we've also been seeing like some of those faces being young. Like I'm assuming like at least four or three of them are potential minors, and
Mhm.
like thank God we don't serve alcohol on the tournament floor.
Right.
But like literally, we do see a lot of young people come in and play the game. We see a lot of just of younger people just come in wanting to play the game, and they just play super super well at it.
Right, and they're probably coming in with their like Switch Pro controllers, right?
Switch Pro controllers, or they're just like their wired ones as
Right.
well. Whatever
that's
they feel
that's that's
comfortable
kind
running.
that's kind of how you can differentiate the older fellows from the younger newer ones, right? Because like
And
it's
not really. I mean, like we can't like it's hard to tell just because it's just like okay, well you have this guy, he's a younger lad and he's running a wired, but then you have this older gentleman who's running a pro controller.
right.
So I can't really predict a pattern on just people running certain controllers based on their age groups.
Right, but I'm just saying like I remember when I went to tournaments primarily when I would see a younger fellow, they would usually be running like almost always a Switch Pro controller or just a wired controller. I think I rarely ever saw young kids with GameCube controllers, and that made me feel old as shit. That made me feel old. I mean, I know I'm not that old, but that definitely made me like. It's like, oh, you don't use like, oh, that's weird. You don't use a GameCube controller, like like use whatever you want to use. Like, there's a guy kicking my ass over here with Joy Cons, but
Oh my god.
weird, like weird, you
Not the
know.
Joy-Cons.
Does anybody actually use Joy Cons like other than like seriously?
Yes. Ironically enough, yes.
Really, there are people who like legitimately prefer Joy Cons over like.
I think a friend I that I like legit I think a friend of mine, Louis G, he actually told me about a story where a guy entered a tournament with Zelda using a Joy-Con on its side.
That guy couldn't
And
have been
I
serious.
no, he was dead ass. And he
What?
literally got to like winners finals.
What? When winners finals with a sideways Joy-Con? No,
No,
no.
that's what I was told. And literally, like, I was just like, impossible, man. The only thing that I could believe was that, like, he lost winners finals, then he went into losers. He didn't make it to grands. So I was just like, okay, I wouldn't believe this if he made it to grands. I would not believe it for a fucking second. Like
Right.
literally, I wouldn't be able to believe it. And like I can believe that he made it to winners finals because I have seen like players really go ham with
Right.
with how they play using the set because like remember people on like Slippy they use like that keyboard GameCube controller that
Yeah, 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 yeah.
people run that legitimately in tourneys. I've seen like a couple people use it and it is
What?
hysterical.
Really? People bringing in those fucking weird like what? Really?
Yeah, the keyboard controllers. I've seen a couple people use those in legitimate tournaments.
What the fuck? Do they get far?
They get fairly far, but not far enough to where it's just like, okay, it's surprising to me because that controller is so unoptimal. You would feel so weird, just like it's like holding like a garlic bread plate while playing Smash. You
Well,
might
and
as well hold like a pizza box and get two Joy Cons.
right. I mean, well, like, but like, really, like, again, I guess it also just depends on the personality of the individual and what their preference is because not everybody is going to use a GameCube controller. Not everybody is going to use a Pro controller, and not everybody's going to use a Joy-Con, right? I guess it just all depends. But in your opinion, do you think there is a controller that's like more optimal for the competitive scene, or do you really just think it just comes down to the preference of the individual?
Um, Sometimes I think it's the preference of the individual because I have seen people get to grants with like a pro controller
Hmm.
and it and then like it's possible to win grants with any kind of control. Hell, you can run like the freaking Donkey Kong bongos and I would probably be impressed and actually like be in belief of that.
Right.
But like the thing is that like the preferable way to play is literally a GameCube controller because that's like the mass majority of people who run these kind of games is GameCube controller. And not only that, like mods exist as well. Like literally people just carve just like remove pieces or carve like things into the analog to make them like aim better with like Fox's Firefox, for example, in Melee. Like they literally have like indent carvings for it, like snapback for the LNR triggers so that it would be better to shield. And like there's just so much like I think it honestly yeah, I do agree that I do say that does resolve around the individual. I don't use mods and I play fine, probably because I'm a Ganon.
Right. Right. Um,
Not to say that other Ganons have mods or not. I'm just saying I'm a Ganon who doesn't use mods.
right. No, that makes sense. Um, and then I guess that kind of gets into kind of gets into murky waters because I am familiar with like putting the dents in your like what is it in your joystick on the joystick ring I suppose or the outer rim of where your joystick goes to
Mhm.
help like the notches to help you aim better. Where is the line drawn for modification in competitive play? Like where at what point is it just like something to help you perform, and at what point is it like almost like cheating, like if somebody were to dope for like like any other competitive sport.
I think the line is drawn where like you can't obviously use like turbo mode, but I think the line is drawn where like the controller is literally playing the game for you, and I
Hmm.
think melee like I mean that could be screwed up into many like different like arguments as well, because like controllers like melee was is not as like at least in my experience, it's too slippery for me, and I can't get into it. Like I literally can't. I physically can't. Even if I
Right.
had a modified controller, I wouldn't be able to get into it because it was so rushed.
Right.
And the thing about like I think like the line is drawn where like like the player is like doing the most minimum of actions and the controller is doing all the work.
I
Like
see.
hell, like even like I think yeah, like even though it's unrelated, this actually reminds me of there was this one local that this one player entered and basically he ran Pichu and Pichu was doing stuff that should not be right because the memory card or the set that he was running was actually hacked
Hmm.
and it was I don't know why it reminded me of that, but like it reminds me of that a little bit. And the whole idea, like the literally the line is drawn when like the player isn't even like playing the game, like it's his controller that's literally doing everything, which I think is what a lot of like they try to go through any loophole that they can or whatever they can to gain an advantage because like when you're playing for money you obviously can't get no breaks so
Right.
you
Of
have to
course.
just get as much advantage as possible.
Right. So essentially, what you're saying is as long as you modify the tool itself and not
The game.
the engine, it's the engine and the game that you're playing on, it's fine.
I wanna say yes, but even so, like you can't add turbo mode. Like that's the
Right.
thing. Like, or hell, like have like, because I know, because like I bet like there's like a hack that someone's making for the controller where like the controller just like auto L cancels or something like that. Like I
Right.
wouldn't be surprised if like that even exists. And I
Right.
think like that's where the line is drawn, where like you auto L cancel and you just don't even play the game anymore.
Right. Because some can make the argument that it, like if you add notches to your controller, that it's the only reason why you're able to perform the actions that you are. You know, some would
Hmm.
say like, why don't you, you know, why don't you just play with a regular controller? Why don't you just do it the old-fashioned way, the way we used to do it back in the day when we wouldn't modify our controllers. We would just play our game, and there were no notches. We never customized our buttons. Like what do you think about like people from that end? You know,
Um,
would you just say, hey, like it's legal, fucking get good, or do you think maybe there's something there?
I think I want to say there's something there, but at the same time, you can like literally it's literally a scenario of just getting good. Like it, like you have to, like, because here's the deal: like you
Mm-hmm.
don't win based on you staying in the same mindset and same age. You have to adapt. You have to learn the matchup. You have to get better, and getting better might potentially meaning like you need to alter your controller and like add notches to like aim with Fox's Firefox or something like that. Like I feel like there is something there, but I think it's just a matter of just people like getting into the newest trend and just winning that way.
Right.
I Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot of there is definitely a lot of bitterness and a lot of insecurities when it comes to somebody feeling robbed when they're going to a competitive game because it's like okay like nobody here is playing fair I'm playing a low tier and everybody else has like modified controllers and everybody's just dog shit like you know what I mean like because it's like it's one of those things where it's like it's definitely like dude just like come on, man. Like this is just it's just the way the game works. Like we're playing for money. Like sure, like Smash is like because that's the thing. It's like I used to tell people when I moved here, I would tell people like, yeah, I used to make some money here and there playing Smash Ultimate. But I would describe it to just playing video games, and everyone would be like, "Oh, that sounds like so much fun." I'm like, "No, it was like the most stressful thing I've ever had to do in my life. Like, it was super stressful, like having to train like five, like, because when you tell somebody here, like, or you tell anybody, hey, like, I used to make some money playing video games. Everyone's like, oh man, that sounds like such a fun job. It's like
No.
immediately you begin that's the red flag when you go, oh, so you don't understand, you don't get it, like you don't understand. Like there's a point when you're playing this game and it stops becoming a game and it starts becoming
A job.
a job. It starts becoming a job and it's a way to financially support yourself. Because honestly, playing Smash like and making money off of tournaments is the only reason I was able to move up here because I was able to stockpile up this money and I was able to move up here and and that's an initiative that I took to help me get here. But it was stressful as shit, And literally the only times I would ever win was if like Striker or like any of the other actual good players were not at a tournament I was at. It's like, oh shit, this is easy money. Like this is a local. It's like one of those like weird like hole in the wall areas where people are just like, like I was basically robbing money. Like I wasn't even a good player. Like I just knew where to find the tournaments to, to essentially rob money from. Um, but put a good player in like striker or like prodigy or like literally anybody like insert any good player you know all you see when you see that person play is the end result. You don't see the journey that they go through and all the shit that they have to endure and just like all the shit talk and all the failures and all the hours of training that they put into a game. And that's why it's like people who are salty like that, who just fucking dismiss people for playing like a top tier or playing Bowser, or like they like it's like, oh, okay, so like you haven't learned how to play the not just the game, but you haven't learned how to play the game of being in a competitive scene yet. Um, which is really interesting because a lot of people stay in that mindset for forever and they never get out of it. They're always like, yeah, dude, like, like I'm the only honest player here. It's like, okay, like, well, have fun not making any money and not getting in the PGR, I guess. Like, you know, um, but it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta ask yourself, is playing a game that I find fun, is it worth turning it into a job? Because then it might not be as fun as you used to. Like you've mentioned earlier, like you kind of seem like you're a little burnt out of Smash Ultimate. You're kind of waiting for, you kind of want the next project to come by, right?
I mean, like, yeah, I'm getting kind of bored of Smash Ultimate right now, because like whenever there's a new Smash game, there's just like this euphoria, this magical moment of like I'm playing the newest Smash right now. I'm at an event playing the demo. I'm here with my friends having fun. There's like that. It's like there's like that magical moment whenever you play like a game like that is powerful as Smash, and it's just absolutely insane. Just like I can't describe it. It's just all I can say. It's a magical moment when you play a new game,
Well, because
like
that's
when you play
right.
literally.
Yeah, well, because that's when all the hype is, right? That's when everybody's finally coming together. They're like, because you don't know what's coming up, you don't know what's new, you don't know what they're changing. It could be shit, it could be great, and everyone's excited. So like how we met, like we were there at that event in Santa Clara because we were excited. We were super excited to just to get our hands on the new experience, on the new Smash Bros. Like how long was your drive going to Santa Clara to play Smash Ultimate?
It wasn't too long, I want to say,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's what was so great about it. It wasn't like it was like the drive was fast enough where like I was still excited to play the game. It wasn't so like long where it was just like, yes, I finally made it after God knows how long. And I think it was just fast enough where I'm still excited to play the game. I'm pumped up. I'm about to go play Smash. Might potentially meet some new friends. Hi. And like I feel like I wouldn't have met a lot of people who really get into Smash if I didn't go to these events. Like you can get into Smash by playing the game and you could be a fan like that and help you can put it competitive. Just you don't even need to attend these events, but I think from a social standpoint it's super exciting just because you're looking at all these people that are waiting to play this game, and not only do you get to play with them but you also get to see like the employees of Nintendo. You get to get free merch. You get like there's just so many like key factors of like being there that it's just like it's just literally magical, like I said.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. I think I drove like I think it was 2.5 hours to get to that event. Um, and it was a long fucking drive, but god damn it was it worth it. Yeah,
Or
god damn it was it worth it. Um, it was really unfortunate because I really wanted to bring my rival over, but he had a thing that he couldn't do, that he had to do, and he couldn't come. Um, I ha- he's a big reason why I got into Smash competitively because he still frustrates the shit out of me, but in a good way. Um, he's just always like one step ahead of me, and he was always just being a little bit. He was always just a little better than I was. He was my fucking Goku, and I was Vegeta. He was always just one step. He was just a little better than me every time, and it's what always fucking allowed him to win fucking games. But at this time, unfortunately, he was playing League of Legends like super super seriously, and he dropped Smash. And and he claimed like and I remember like asking him to come over and train with me so we can go to tournaments, and he would never. He'd be like, oh, like no, like I'm playing he's like I'm playing League. I gotta go play like I'm playing League or whatever. He always kind of ignore me. He doesn't even today he doesn't really acknowledge it. He's like, no, I was busy. I would have played Smash. It's like, no, you wouldn't have. But I really wish you could have met him at around that time when Smash was blowing up, and I wish he would have gone to tournaments with me because, um, goddamn, dude, I'm telling you, he would have broken the scene. I'm telling you, man. If this kid's something else. He absolutely would have dominated the scene because not only would I have been able to elevate him, but if he would have actually played against really good players, because it's one thing when you're seeing somebody play online in a stream or something. It's another thing to play against somebody in person. It's another thing to be in the crowd and the environment and people like cheering you on and shit, or booing you. Um, and I'm telling you, man, he would have been amazing. Um, but unfortunately, I don't know what happened to him. He just decided not to train. That's cool. Is there anybody that you feel that is up and coming right now that could change the scene? Like somebody that you absolutely just like is there one person that you're just like holy shit, like this guy, like if this guy trains more and if this guy just fucking goes at it, he could possibly be one of the best players in our area. Is there somebody that sticks out to you, like one person in particular?
Ooh, that is tough. That is really tough because there is a lot of good players at the local that I commentate, and it's really tough. There's a lot of good players that could like be deserving of this. Like there can be CERN with his excellent snake play. Sandfall definitely is one of them. Louis Money is already like the highest contender for me because he's just like absolutely godlike with Fox. Fox. He even went like all Roy at Rival of Kitten, which was insane. And like who else? Got Zekin with Kirby, Chaos with his Sonic. You got Math Yoshi with his Yoshi, and it's just like so. It's honestly really tough. I don't think I can even say it's that hard because there's a lot of good players.
Huh. Interesting. And is but well, let me say this. Is there anybody that you see consistently getting first or second place at your tournaments, or do you think everybody's like it really just comes down to like who makes the mistake in that particular day or who triumphs over who?
I think King Koopa can actually really take home gold if he really just went to this local a lot more often because he has went to this local and he's literally went all Incineroar on a dare. And
Right.
he had to fight like me sword fighter, he had to fight Samus, he had to fight a ton of crap just to get to Grands. And he even fought like that one hero I mentioned earlier. He
Right.
fought him in Grands, and it was like the funniest shit because like the final obstacle is a boy with a sword, and I'm just like even like here's the thing. He sat next to me, and I asked him, "Yo, how are those matches?" It made me want to die.
It's funny.
It was it was so funny, dude. Oh my god, King Koopa, what a guy! Like like I think he would honestly be like he's definitely like one of the better. He's definitely one of the best players I've seen. Um like not counting top players, just local scene in general. Like literally, he's like one of like he's like maybe the third or second best Bowser right now.
Uh-huh.
Like he's like I think he's like up there with like Striker, I think. And Striker like I don't know if he still plays Bowser, so I would still
Right.
need to look into that.
Right.
But no, King Koopa, definitely King Koopa.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, that's fucking nuts, dude, because there are very few people who can just like fucking do that at such a high level. Just like pick a character and just fucking wreck shit. Um, because like again, it's like you don't like when you're watching these matches online and you're seeing them in a video, you're like, oh, like they should have done this. I could have reacted to that. But you don't realize just how much pressure you're in, when you're until you're actually competing, and then just like the amount of skill that these players are able to output. Um, and then you play against that and you realize just how calm and collected and how precise they are when you're fighting them. It's like, dude, it's a whole nother thing. It's a whole
It's a
nother
whole.
thing.
It's literally a whole new ball game.
Yeah, it's so different, man. It's so different. And like that's definitely one thing I absolutely miss is just getting my shit kicked in by good players. Like I don't care if I get my shit kicked in by good players. I love to see it. I love to see that stuff. Like it's amazing, man. It's one of the like it's one of the most it's why you go. It's why you go. It's you go to compete, you socialize, get your shit kicked in, watch some good fights, That's why that's why I personally I always struggle playing against like spacies. I just can't do it. Spacies are my weakness. Or just zoners. I mean, like even just zoners, more specifically zoners. Zoners are like my weakness. Like I can't like Kirby, like get a Jigglypuff or like, or like anybody who just got projectiles that are just gonna play keep away most of the time. I can't do it. I'm gonna cave in every time. I was curious, are Peach, Palu, and Joker still like among the best characters in the game, or
Yeah,
like how really?
yeah. Palu is definitely one of the best characters in the game. Like
Hmm.
Palu, Joker, PT, Game and Watch. I mean, Game and Watch. I don't see as many Game and Watches now, but like I think like one top player played him, and then everybody started playing him.
Right.
But like I don't know about that. Like literally, no, no, no. So you got Palo, you got Joker, you got realistically Roy. He's high tier, despite like he's fast, has good damage, rush down as hell.
Right.
Like he definitely has good. Like there's a good handful amount of high tiers, but like some low tiers could potentially counter high tiers. Just like in Street Fighter 4, I think one guy was playing Seth in like in this one set, and one player, man, I forgot what tourney this was, but the other player legit pulled out like a surprise counter pick because like Seth was so hard to counter, so he was like, okay, let me pull out Hakan on you, and Hakan was like the
I know exactly
worst.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes, you know.
Yeah, I
Oh
know
my
exactly which set you're
god.
talking about. That was fucking hype. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Shawa!
shower! Yeah. Yeah, shower! I used to play the shit out of that game.
Oh my god,
When I was
Hakan,
younger.
man.
Yeah, and Hakan's not supposed to be a good character, right? He's technically like a low tier in Street Fighter 4,
Yeah,
right?
he's slow. He doesn't have that decent of frame data. Like, he's just not that great. But then you see him whip out Hakan against a high tier like Seth, and oh my god!
Yeah. That's what
It's all off.
that's what we live for, man. That's what it's all about. Fucking just those hype moments. Yeah, I mean,
Oh man.
so I want to ask you something because I've been asking this to a few Smash players, but you seem to have an objective view on most things. Um, when it comes to Palu and Joker, who do you think gets more playtime, and who do you think ends up winning more matches overall?
Wanna say I want to say Joker
Okay.
because just the fact like I'm also going to include his inclusion into Smash as like a factor
Okay.
because with his inclusion into Smash, no one saw Joker coming. He was the first DLC fighter, and it was a great start. At the time, I was just like, "Who the fuck is this?" Because I never played a Persona game in my life.
Right.
I never even played like any of the Shin Megami Tenseis or anything like that,
Right.
and I was just like, who the hell is this? And then when he came out, all this crap of him showing up on Twitter, I'm just like, oh, this guy is good. He had an infinite, he had good frame data, he had a comeback mechanic, and like it was the absolute worst thing. I
Right.
definitely because like here's the thing. Joker has that really good comeback mechanic. He has a good spike, edge guarding. He's a good character overall. Palu, she doesn't really have a comeback mechanic. Yeah, she's good. And I don't really know like what like she's good, like she's definitely high tier, but the thing is that like if you're gonna play Palutena, you might as well just go play Joker because Joker is I guess a slightly better Palu in my opinion because the thing about that is Joker's edge guard game is absolutely nutto. Like you can just get gun fired off the stage and just gimped super early. You can be edge guard fairly well against. You can also, I mean, like taking into account like Joker's extensions with up B is super super nice. Like man, yeah, no, Joker. just,
Joker.
just Joker. Way to
Interesting.
go, Joker.
Yeah, right. Do you see even now do you see a lot of jokers playing and winning tournaments or like is he
Not as
dominating
often.
is he dominating the scene?
I mean, like I still see Jokers play, but I don't think I see him dominating the scene like he was back then. Like back then when he first released and hell, like even leading up to like the end of Fighters Pass 1, I think he was still being played a lot. Like
Right.
he was played a lot. He literally was just like no one would put him down because he was such a good character.
Right.
And like no one would put him down because he's such a good character and the fact that like yeah despite his nerfs he's still viable, like you could probably take him to a major or a super major and win with him.
Right. Are people making the argument that he's not a good character now or
No, 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 he is definitely a good character. I
okay.
have actually never seen a person say, oh, Joker sucks. Like I've
Right,
never
no.
seen that.
No, I haven't either. um That's why I'm asking. Is there a character that you do see primarily dominating the scene, or like, or is it pretty well balanced? Is there one character that like you see a lot of people play, or do you think it just changes because of a good top player picking a character and then everybody bandwagoning on top of that?
It's hard to say, but I want to say it's fairly even because the whole thing about because I don't think one particular character is dominating the scene. Like I don't look at other tournaments, so this is coming from the aspect of me just looking at my own local
Right.
for data,
Right.
and I can't really say that I haven't seen like an abundant like I do see some people attending the tourney over and over and over with their character, but that's not really like a character takeover
Right.
unless multiple people played the character. And I actually do not see that. I it's rare that I see like it's not rare, but it's kind of like uncommon when I see like two characters of the same character like two players of the same character enter the tourney, which is like, yeah, that's pretty good. But at the same time, I don't want to deal with like two Samuses.
Right. Yeah, 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 I get that.
No, I don't want to deal with that.
Right. So, but you think it's pretty well balanced. You think everybody kind
I
of has picked a character and kind of sticks with it, and you'll see
yeah,
like a Cloud and a Ridley, or a Pikachu and a Banjo, or a Mewtwo and a Terry. You know what I mean?
yeah, it's fairly well balanced.
Okay. Yeah. And you said you guys hold Guilty Gear Strive as well, right? You guys are holding Guilty Gear Strive tournaments as well.
Yep.
How's that going? How? Because I'm pretty hesitant around Guilty Gear Strive right now. I'm not sure if it's a game I want to buy. Not because I think it's not going to be good, because I've heard a lot of good things about it. But more so is like I'm scared that I'm gonna get invested in it and spend all my time playing that game. Um,
I haven't played it myself personally, but
mhm.
like the game looks absolutely fantastic. Like I think it's literally made by the same people. Arc System Works.
Yep.
They've made Dragon Ball Fighters, which is one of my favorite fighting games, and I literally blah, 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 blah. But like
Uh-huh.
literally like it's just so like the game is gorgeous, but I haven't played it.
Right.
And I feel like if you do play it, you will get invested by like the charm of the characters, just like you would want to learn the mechanics. But like I think if you don't like these sort of like the those kind of fight like Guilty Gear or like another game that I have them's Fighting Herds. If you're not like into like the slow like sorta tactile but massive button input kind of deal, like at least from my experience and my thought process, then like definitely I mean like obviously watch Guilty Gear before a bargain is struck, but I definitely say like definitely give it a watch. Actually, we actually AFK actually streams Guilty Gear and Smash on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on their Twitch. So if you really want to take a look at the game, you can go look at it there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just yeah, like just make sure you send me a link, and I'll be sure to put it in the description, so anybody who's watching can check out the live stream. Um, yeah, I only ask. Are you guys doing well? Are those tournaments doing well? Are you guys getting good turnout? Do you know?
Yeah, yeah, we're getting good turnouts. Our Smash tournaments actually max within like a half hour ish or so,
Uh,
and it's a pretty decent turnout. We're actually thinking about raising the cap right now. So like right
really?
now it's been at 16, so we might be able to like upgrade it to 20 or 22 so that we have more of a turnout.
Right. And does that have to do with primarily COVID or just like how you guys are
Ma-
managing?
Mainly COVID.
Okay, I
Mainly
see.
COVID.
You get. I haven't been to California in a while, and I haven't really been updated. Are you guys still like locked down and like wearing masks and stuff?
Oh yeah, no. The mandate is actually over. We're good. Like if you are fully vaccinated, you can walk around maskless.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Yeah, because we've up here we've been like that for a while. I've heard California's been getting a lot of shit lately. There's been a lot of issues, just in general, and apparently it's just not the place to be right now. So I've been told. But
Yeah, I actually don't know too much of what you're referencing, so I'm not really too sure.
well, just like the dumb political shit. Just the
Uh,
governor like telling people to stay at home, wear a mask, and he's out in a
yeah,
restaurant
no,
eating that kind of thing. Like homelessness going up, like I believe it's like 200 or 300% in in the Los Angeles County. Uh,
yeah,
I think Portland, Oregon, or I don't know if it's Portland, Oregon, or if it's California, but apparently you're allowed to steal things up to $1,000 worth of value.
what?
Yeah, yeah. No, this is
That
real.
is dumb.
This
Why?
is real shit. Because of the what is it? The cancel. What is it? Um, the police. The defunding the police.
Oh,
Some cities got away with it, or I don't remember which cities. I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's Portland, Oregon, or if it's California, Los Angeles, California. But some cities got away with it, and because you defunded the police, the cops aren't willing to go stop these people, and so they're allowed to steal things worth up to like $1,000 worth of value.
that is honestly dumb. This is why I don't get into politics.
Yeah,
This is why
yeah,
I don't look at.
it's nuts. Yeah, no, it's insane. You stay away from it. Let's
Yeah,
just
no.
yeah.
Why don't we talk about video games again?
Right, let's just stick to Smash. Yeah, fuck that
Heck
shit.
yeah, dude. Video games.
I mean, well, yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely a great escape, up until, because that's kind of how the gaming community is, right? Like, we kind of keep to ourselves until we're not, right? Like, until somebody, like, comes in, interrupts our peace, like the scalpers. The scalpers
Oh
are coming in, and,
no.
and we're just like, hey, we just what happened to all the PlayStations? Where'd they go? It's like, well, you want a PlayStation?
They're
You gotta pay
gone.
it. You gotta pay quadruple the price. It's like, all right,
Thousand
cool.
thousand bucks.
Yeah,
Where
it's
is it?
where I think I want a new graphics card. It's like, nope, you can't have one because
Thousand
yeah,
bucks.
because the Bitcoin market, you're not allowed to have one. It's like, great.
Yeah,
um,
honestly, like I really wish like there was like a like because you know how people were trying to scalp the Wii U when that first came out and that didn't work. I wish there was
yeah,
another switch situation like that. That would be hilarious.
yeah, like, and I remember when the Switch came out, like, but the difference with the Switch is the Switch was just sold out. Like, people just couldn't buy it because everybody was buying it. They weren't being
Yeah,
scalped, at least not to my knowledge.
they were being
Um,
scalped. Hell, even the new model, the OLED model, is actually being scalped right now.
I believe
They
you.
$700.
I believe it. I believe it.
Oh,
I don't see why. I mean, well, it's like it's like that conversation we had earlier about the competitive game,
mhm.
Except these guys are just playing a different game. They're buying up whatever the fuck they can and they're making money. Financially, it's fucking smart, but
Oh no,
it's such a shitty thing to do.
oh no, it's actually a really bad like model of earning money. Like I would see it as a quick way to earn money, not as like a business. Because realistically, if you're creating a scalping business, do you have any idea how risky that is?
Okay,
Because
yeah.
realistically, like you have to just see what's being scalped right now and then try to get one. And then you need to just be like that is just so unrealistic.
Right. Because you'd have to out compete your competitors in getting the products that you're trying to get,
Yeah,
so you can scalp them out. Yeah.
like literally there was this one story I saw about this one 16-year-old who made like 1.5 million dollars in profit, and I'm just like, no, that's not and they're telling the story like it's a feel good story. Freaking New York Times, they
Oh, I
or the
see.
Washington Post or whoever, and not Matt Pat Pat the NES Punk actually did a video on this,
Uh huh.
and he goes into like the math logistics of like his earnings, and he is losing a lot of money.
What the
Like
fuck?
he's losing like 80%, I think. I don't know. Like
What?
he's losing so much cash. Like all the PS5s that he sold, all the revenue that he's accumulated, he's not really getting that much realistically.
Why is that?
He
What's the
has
basis behind that?
he has like first of all like taxes, like let's say there's like a tax sort of like 15%, so that's just like another cost on that. Employees, because he's working like his own quote unquote business, and the fact like he probably has people working around the clock, so he's got to pay them, and there's just a lot more like taxes and deductions that just go into just running like something like that. Because if he's claiming it's a business, then he's gonna have to run it like a business, which obviously wouldn't be good on a 16-year-old's mentality, because he would have to work that many hours on his business. Like this, it's just not viable.
Right.
Like Pat the NES Punk said it, or talked about it on actually his podcast a lot better than I would what I'm saying it. So if you want like a better detailed story, go watch that video.
Interesting. Yeah, because I'm not. Again, I'm just. I got lucky. I got very. Wait, you said his name was Pat NES.
Pat the NES Punk.
Yes, punk. Um, I got very lucky getting my PlayStation 5. Very, very
Oh,
lucky. I
oh,
was
same here.
very.
Like, you want to know?
Uh
You
huh.
want to know how I got mine?
Yeah.
Like literally, so I'm at a friend's house. I'm working on and it was October of I think either it was October of last year, and I'm working on because like me and my friend do this Halloween house, this Halloween haunted house mansion thing every year,
Right.
and it's just like this big giant thing that we do in front of his front lawn, and we get a lot of attention for it. And basically what happened, I'm watching the presentation. Once they showed off the PS5, I was just like, heck yeah, dude, that looks amazing. And then like here's the deal, my friend who was randomly in GameStop basically got a pre-order in. Like he literally asked the employee, "Oh, we're not taking pre-orders right now. Oh, I just saw the thing and they're doing this. Oh, really? Let me check." Okay, then as soon as the employee came back, "Oh, we're taking pre-orders now." Really? Everybody got in line, and my friend was literally one of like the first people in like I want to assume the world to get a pre-order. And then I was just like, and then I called my pops. Pops, get down to GameStop! We gotta get a PS5! Like literally, I was just like, Pops, you gotta get down to GameStop. Why, son? They are literally like PlayStation 5 pre-orders are live right now. You gotta get one. You gotta hold one because because I knew they were gonna sell out super fast. So I was like literally the first wave who got a PS5.
Jesus Christ, man. Holy
We acted
shit.
like I was like God knows how far from the nearest GameStop. So I was just like, and my dad was the nearest towards the GameStop. I'm just like, please go there. I'll pay you back. Just do it.
That's fucking insane, dude.
It was ridiculous. And when I went over there, I woke up super early because my dad dropped me off during the launch of the PS5, and I saw people just showing up. Like literally, one dude was waiting there, hoping that there would be spare copies. But I'm just saying that I'm thinking, wait a minute, why would they give out like spare copies? This is a super sought after machine. So I'm assuming this is just for pre-orders. And the employee comes out and he says, "Oh no, sorry, this is pre-orders only." And then like a majority of the line left. There was only
Oh
like three of us
my
there. There
god,
was
dude, that's
three of
nuts.
us there, and I'm just waiting there for my PlayStation, and I'm just like, here. And you want to know what's even funnier? I had school that day,
Oh my god.
and literally, I literally had to start up my class while on the drive home.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, fuck it, dude. Fuck it. You're getting a
Dude,
PS5.
yeah, I got it. Like literally, when the class was going on, I'm just like, I'm unhooking my PS5.
Right. You were part of the 1% pretty quickly, huh?
I acted on that shit. Thank you to my dad. Shoutouts to my pops.
Yeah, no, I didn't get a PS5 until about December, early December. And the PS5 had what is it? When did it launch? I don't remember.
It
Like,
launched in November. Let me look it up. PS5
yeah, because
launch. That
I don't remember when that was.
it launched in on November 12th.
Okay, so I didn't have to wait too long. Um, but I got mine in early December, and seriously, it was so weird. It's like I got a message from God because I woke up one morning and I was like, I'm gonna get a PS5, and and so I did all
I
this,
answered with yes.
and I did all this research, and I just followed a bunch of Twitter accounts. And there was this thing where you can check like Walmart's stock inventory and like when they should be
Oh,
expecting PlayStation 5s to come in and certain electronics and stuff. And for a small time period, Walmart was actually selling PlayStation 5s physically, like in person. You didn't have to order it online. And so what I did was I knew that they were going to restock on PlayStation 5s. It was just a matter of when. So what I did was I camped outside of a Walmart for the next week. uh, I would wait. I would wait in front of a Walmart at 2 in the morning and wait for them to open at 7. And I did that for a whole week. And then eventually, I believe I don't remember on what day. It might have been a Thursday or a Wednesday. Um, Finally, uh, I waited there, and the guys were opening up, and they were like, "Hey, are you here for the PlayStation 5?" I was like, "Yep." And they're like, "Okay, well, we're gonna go check our back stock. Hopefully, it'll be in here." And he told me this at around like I want to say maybe 3 in the morning or something, 3:45, like 3:45, 4, like early 4 o'clock. And then more people started to show up. So I was the first one in line, and more people started to show up. And then eventually they opened up the doors and like, yeah, we got the PlayStation 5s. And I was like, holy shit, yeah, because they started handing out like tickets, you know. They were like, okay, here's number one, you're number one, here's number two, here's number three. So I was the first one there, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get a PlayStation 5. And some fucking lady walks into Walmart and she cuts in front of all of us and she's like, I want to get a PS5. And they're like,
That
and
bitch.
the employees were like, well, ma'am, they've been in here in line longer than you have, so, and we don't have any more PlayStation 5s. And they're
Yeah,
like,
fuck you, bitch.
yeah, and I was like, who the, like, she cut in front of me. I was the first one in line, and this lady showed up right when Walmart opened and, like, sped walk in front of me and cut me in line. I was like, what? I didn't say anything, but I was like, what the fuck? I was like,
Oh yeah, no, that's like guaranteed to happen at almost anything.
it was just so ridiculous. I was like, dude, like really? I've been waiting out here for like about a week, and I've been waiting out I've been waking up every morning like at 2 in the morning and waiting here till 7 for the opportunity to make sure I got a PlayStation 5, and I did that day, and it's great. I'm glad I got very lucky. I got very lucky because after that they stopped selling PlayStation 5s in person at Walmart. They start after that they only did physical or sorry, only did online order from that point forward. So I'm really, really lucky. I was very fortunate to get my hands on one. Have you been playing any of the new stuff on the PS5 or
Well, yeah,
um,
I've been playing Rift Apart. I've been playing Cold War. I haven't played Miles Morales yet. I really want to play Miles Morales,
pretty
but
good?
mainly Rift Apart and Cold War. Like Rift Apart, I almost 100%ed. The game's fantastic. When you get a PS5, play it. Sony really needs to put this shit on the PS4. Like it's that good of a game where
I,
like they need
I
to.
don't I don't see how they could possibly port that game onto the PS4. I just don't see it
Oh
happening.
no, they're making PS4 they're making PS5 PS4 ports of like Godfall, and that's a PS5 game, and they're also making I think one of Demon Souls. Like I think
What?
yeah, they're making deports of like some games on the PS5 library because Sony knows that like, oh, we're not a lot of people have a PS5 right now because these scumbags keep on scalping them and we're not getting a single fucking dime of. So, how about just to get a little bit of money in our pockets, we'll go ahead and ask these developers, "Hey, we're going to need you to port some of these games to the older consoles because not a lot of people can play these games."
What? That sounds insane. I don't know how that would work.
I
Um,
I
I
think
don't.
it would work just by lowering the frame rate and the graphics and stuff. So it's like an altered like I feel like I don't know how you would look it up. Just like deport PS5. I don't know. Like, but I know that is a thing. I know that they're doing this with Godfall.
Huh. That just sounds I don't know. It just well because Demon Souls is such a beautiful game and it runs fucking amazing on the PS5. I don't know how that would work. Let me see. Okay, let me see. It discovered. Okay, it says update. After an early entry for Demon Souls for PlayStation 5 was discovered in the PlayStation Store's database, leading us to believe a port of the game is coming to PS4. It has since been made clear that this likely isn't the case. Wait, modder Lance McDonald said that the entry is actually over 4 years old and is likely a port of the original PS3 game. McDonald suspects it was created for PS5, PS Now to allow developers to remotely debug and QA it while working on the PS5 remake from home. Sony often does this. These builds are never intended for release, he added. Huh. Weird. So, I don't know. This is telling me that it was a mistake, that it might not be coming to PS4.
It
Hmm.
might not be, but I want to say like yes because not a lot of people have a because like here's the deal like how many I want to do like a research like the thing like how many people in the world right now has a PS5? How many people?
Yeah, not
If it's
much.
if it's less than like 100,000, or I'm not going to say less than 100,000, that would have been ridiculous. But
Yeah.
if it's um less than like let's say 2 million or less than a million, let's just say that like that's not like they're preying on software. They're playing on software, but at the same time, Sony is obviously using scalping as like a tool to just like increase the appeal of the PS5.
Huh. Yeah, no, I never really thought of it that way. It would definitely help
Yeah,
out
because
with
yeah,
sales.
because Yeah, because think about it. The PS5 just looks a lot more valuable when you see these scalpers sell it for like $1,000. So the appeal is there for the console, but the problem is Sony's not making a single dime off of any of these secondhand sales. It's like with the Nintendo situation. People are selling like graded Super Mario 64 cards, sealed copies of games, and not only that, like hell, even loose cards like Majora's Mask and what's a game I have? Conker's Bad Fur Day on the N64. Like we're selling these games. I mean, granted, that game was made by Rare, and Rare's with Microsoft right now.
Right.
But granted, they could re-release all of their old games onto the Switch, a part of their Nintendo Switch Online program, and they would make so much more money, and the prices for all these physical games would go down because now it's on a more accessible hardware.
Oh yeah.
So it would definitely help out. Going that as an example for the scenario.
Right. Yeah. It's just well, also problem with the whole PS5 thing is like the manufacturing, right? It's like they can't keep up with the demand.
Yeah. Plus, it's
Isn't there?
COVID.
Isn't there? Yeah.
Apparently the parts are expensive.
Yeah, apparently like the parts are expensive and something like about like the CP like something about like a CPU part that's like harder to obtain right now or some shit like that. I really don't know the details, but I know that like apparently it's like the materials that are needed to create a PlayStation 5 apparently they just can't keep up with the demand right now or something along those lines. Um
Yeah, it's really hard.
yeah. Well, listen here, man. We have come up to 2 hours already.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we've come up to 2 hours already. I just is there anything else you wanted to bring up or mention before we head on out here?
If it's okay, I would actually like to plug in my Twitch if that's okay.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. This is yeah. You go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. Like, please go follow me at Heavysauce555 on Twitch. I stream every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I play anything. I mainly play retro games, and I sometimes play new games. So I'm a variety streamer. Almost at 200 followers. Almost at 200.
Let's go, man.
I've been streaming for like a year and a half now.
Right.
So I've been really doing that grind.
Yeah, dude, you get that. You get at that grind. Eventually, you will get there, bro. Um, yeah, I mean, absolutely, dude. And be sure to send me the link so that way I can put it in the description. It'll be a lot easier that way too.
Yeah, let me
Um,
go and get that for you.
yeah, absolutely. But other than that, any other closing thoughts, man?
Not that I know. This was really, really fun.
Yeah. Hopefully, you know, we can get back on it eventually, sometime in the future. Hopefully, when things come back together, we can. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll have another discussion. Maybe when the next character comes out, we'll see.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
But yeah, man, thank you for humoring me for fucking 2 hours straight. And yeah, man, I hope you have a wonderful day, and hopefully we can talk sometime soon, bro. It's been a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of fun.
of course.
Absolutely. All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Later.
Later.